Hi, my friends. Today I want to present you a new story. Enjoy watching it. I should have seen it coming. The whispers in the hallway, the abrupt cancellation of my meetings, the way my colleagues averted their eyes when I passed. But arrogance is a dangerous thing, and I had believed my 19 years of dedication to infiniment made me untouchable. I was wrong. The moment I stepped into the sleek, glass-walled conference room, I knew. The air was thick with artificial politeness, the kind that precedes an execution. At the head of the table sat Richard Langford, the company's CEO, a man who had once toasted my achievements, but now regarded me like a problem to be erased. Flanking him were Linda Graves, head of legal, and two security guards standing stiffly by the door. "Daniel," Richard began, lacing his fingers together, "I won't waste your time. We have evidence that you've been leaking proprietary information to outside entities." I blinked. "Excuse me?" Linda slid a folder across the table. "We have internal reports showing unauthorized access to confidential data. Your credentials were used. The breach traces back to your terminal." I scoffed, my pulse quickening. "That's impossible." Richard cut me off. "We'd also found traces of your access logs in a competitor's database. This is corporate espionage, Daniel. We're terminating your contract immediately, effective now." My breath hitched. This was a setup. A deliberate, calculated strike. "Richard, you know me. You know I wouldn't." He sighed, feigning disappointment. "Security will escort you out. Any attempt to retaliate will result in legal action." The guards stepped forward. One grabbed my arm. A hot wave of humiliation surged through me. Through the glass walls, I saw my team. People I had mentored, watching, frozen in silent horror. "Don't do this," I growled, struggling against the grip. But Richard simply adjusted his cufflinks, already done with me. "Goodbye, Daniel." As I was dragged through the office, whispers followed like a funeral procession. My career, my reputation, everything I had built was being torn from me. But as I stepped into the elevator, my hands clenched into fists. They thought they had buried me. They had no idea what was coming next. As I walked out of infiniment with nothing but a box of my personal belongings, I felt a storm brewing inside me. They thought they had destroyed me. They thought they had taken everything, my reputation, my career, my dignity. But what they didn't know was that I had been preparing for this moment all along. For over a year and a half, I had been perfecting a revolutionary AI system, Sentience X, and far superior to anything Infiniment had. I knew they would try to claim my past work, so I had encrypted the original algorithm, a lock only I could open. Without me, their systems were a dead shell. Every line of my original code was encrypted with a security key only I possessed. As I arrived home, I tossed the box onto my desk and powered up my laptop. The screen flickered to life, revealing countless nights of sleepless innovation. I smirked. "Let's see them try to claim this," I muttered under my breath. The phone rang. I glanced at the caller ID. Leon Hayes, CEO of Etherai Technologies. He was waiting for my decision. I had been in secret discussions with him for months, aware that my days at Infiniment were numbered. I picked up. "Daniel, I'd assume you're ready to make a move?" Ethan's voice was calm, but I could sense his anticipation. "More than ready," I said, leaning back. "I have something that will change the industry, and I want full control over it." There was a pause. Then Ethan chuckled. "That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Let's make history." Hanging up, I felt something I hadn't in a long time: power. Infiniment had thrown me away, believing I had nothing left, but they had underestimated me. I wasn't just coming back, I was coming back to bury them. 2 weeks after my exile from Infiniment I stood at the heart of the Global Tech Summit, the industry's most anticipated event. Etherai Technologies had given me everything I needed: funding, a dedicated team, and the platform to unveil my revenge. As the lights dimmed in the packed convention hall, Infiniment's CEO, Richard Langford, took the stage first, his confident smirk making my blood boil. He was here to boast about their latest AI breakthrough, technology that, unbeknownst to him, was now a useless husk without the encryption key I had taken with me. "Ladies and gentlemen," Langford declared, his voice dripping with arrogance, "we at Infiniment continue to lead innovation. setting the gold standard for artificial intelligence. I leaned back in my chair, arms crossed, waiting for the moment his world would collapse. As soon as he finished, Leon Hayes took the stage. "With all due respect, Richard," he began, his tone razor sharp, "the gold standard has just changed." The room fell silent as the screen behind him came to life, showcasing Sentience X, my creation. The audience gasped as the demonstration began. Real-time data processing, adaptive learning at an unprecedented speed, capabilities far beyond anything infiniment could offer. Langford's expression darkened. He leaned toward his CTO, whispering frantically. Their team scrambled, trying to understand what was happening. Then Leon dropped the final bombshell. "This AI was developed by the brilliant mind your company discarded, Daniel Farrell." Murmurs turned into thunderous applause. Cameras flashed as I stepped onto the stage. I didn't smile. I simply looked straight at Langford, watching his realization set in. His company was finished. His empire was crumbling, and I had just taken everything from him. The aftershocks of the global tech summit hit infiniment AI like an earthquake. Investors panicked, stocks plummeted, customers withdrew contracts overnight, lured by Etherei's superior technology. By morning, headlines screamed of infiniment's impending collapse. Inside their sleek headquarters, chaos reigned. Richard Langford stormed into the conference room, slamming a folder onto the table. "Explain this to me," he barked at his executives, his face red with fury. "How the hell did Farrell get ahead of us?" His CTO, Mark Davis, hesitated before speaking. "Sir, we tried to access the old algorithm, but it's locked. Daniel encrypted it before he left." Langford's hands curled into fists. "Then break it." Mark swallowed hard. We can't. It's irreversible." Silence. A cold, suffocating silence. Langford's phone buzzed. He snatched it up, his expression shifting from anger to horror. A shareholder meeting had been called. They wanted his resignation. At that moment, security entered. "Mr. Langford," one of them said, "the board has voted. You're being removed as CEO, effective immediately." Langford staggered back. No, I built this company. Not anymore." As they escorted him out, cameras flashed, capturing the once untouchable Titan's downfall. He looked to the reporters, searching for a way to salvage his dignity. But there was none. From my office at Ethereye, I watched the news unfold with quiet satisfaction. Justice had been served. The final blow came swift and merciless. Infiniment AI filed for bankruptcy within weeks, its once glorious empire reduced to nothing but lawsuits and shattered reputations. The tech world moved on, embracing Ethereye as the new leader in artificial intelligence. And me, I had finally taken my rightful place. Sitting in my sleek corner office, I watched the city skyline as my assistant, Eleanor, stepped in. "There's a visitor for you," she said hesitantly. I didn't need to ask. I already knew. Moments later, Richard Langford walked in. He looked like a ghost of himself. His tailored suit hung loosely, his arrogance replaced with desperation. I let the silence stretch as he took a seat across from me. "I suppose you've seen the news," he said, forcing a hollow chuckle. I leaned back. Hard to miss. He exhaled slowly, rubbing his temples. "Daniel, we both know this industry. One fall doesn't mean the end. I can still be an asset. I'm offering my expertise in exchange for a position. Any position." I studied him. The same man who had humiliated me, stolen my work, thrown me out like trash, was now begging. The irony was almost poetic. I reached into my desk drawer and slid something across the table, a $1 bill. Langford frowned. "What's this?" "A token investment," I said, my voice calm but firm, "for your future development." His face darkened. "You're mocking me." I stood, adjusting my cuffs. "No, Langford, I'm giving you exactly what you gave me. Nothing." His lips parted as if to argue, but I was already walking to the door. "Eleanor, please see Mr. Langford out." As security escorted him away, I turned back to my window. Justice wasn't always about revenge. Sometimes it was about making sure your enemies watched you rise while they fell. Friends, What do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.